Can you guys hear that? Spring break is coming. Spring break, spring break, spring break. Oh my God, so exciting. But you gotta get in shape, which is why you're watching this video. The all-encompassing super guide. I think I just made a little heart love thing with that. Great. How appropriate for spring break. All-encompassing guide to getting lean, jacked, tan.
Everyone should fucking see how jacked and tan I am.
And fine as hell to make your spring break go as well as possible. Now, we have 8 things to talk about. This will be a meat and potatoes video. So get your fork and spoon out and let's get to it. First, we have to define the exact goal and time frame. There is a little bit of a mythology as to how to train and prepare for spring break that a few people get wrong. So we're going to clear the air there, make sure we really know exactly what we're setting out to do. We're going to talk about the diet plan that you can take as a really good approach, the training plan, the cardio plan. Then point 5 is the vacation bloating problem, because you can be in really good shape getting to a vacation 2 or 3 days later of eating pure shit, hopefully not literal shit, although I'm not here to judge your vacation. You will look bloated and terrible, but there are ways to make sure that doesn't happen. It's a huge deal. You don't just want to look good at the airport in Cancun. You want to look good. Well, we'll leave all the disgusting jokes for literally in 5 minutes when they begin. Diet and training during vacation, because like you get there, you're still hopefully alive for 5 to 7 days. And you might want to know how to eat and how to train so that you can, maintain as close to that really good look that you got when you arrived as possible. And we will absolutely cover the sauce question for you saucy folks. If you don't know what that means, just skip over it. It's no big deal. And number 8, last point we'll cover is what to do after the vacation when you deal with the depression and sadness of coming back to Kentucky State University and it's mid-March and the snow is rotting the fucking trees out of the ground. It's not Cancun, but it does have potable water coming out of the faucets. Here we go. Defining the exact goal and time frame. Big fact. Is that a thing? Scott the Video Guy, is that a thing the kids say now? Big facts? You don't know what the kids say. What up, Doc? That is as hip as Scott the Video Guy gets. We're going to edit out all the other stuff he said. All right. So here's the deal. It is totally awesome to be jacked and lean for spring break. But you're very likely watching this video when we released it, or hey, a year or 2 from now. Great. Welcome back to the channel. What's up, new subscribers? But in any case, you got like 4 to 8 weeks to get in shape for spring break. Fact, muscle cannot be added very quickly. You can put a few pounds of muscle on in that time, which is great for later. But a few pounds of muscle doesn't exactly change your visual appeal a ton. What does is something more like 10 pounds of fat loss. If you lose something like 10 pounds of fat, it's totally reasonable within that 4 to 8 week time frame, especially closer to 8, no problem, 10 pounds of fat. And also it's got a huge visual change, visual appeal versus gaining even 10 pounds of muscle, which is impossible in these time frames unless you're completely new to training. So really it's, maybe optimistically 2 to 4 pounds of muscle you can gain in this time, and versus 10 pounds of fat lost and a little bit of muscle gained. There's no contest. Getting leaner is absolutely the way to go for the best short-term change. So just to put kind of some guardrails on what we're going to talk about today, it's really all about keeping your muscle on your body and getting leaner. We're not going to be like this is not the ultimate how to get jacked guide for spring break, because that guide is something you should have been doing for like a year and 8 months or a year and 8 weeks before spring break. And then you could look significantly different. So with 4 to 8 weeks left, hopefully you're seeing this video with not something like 2 weeks left. In that case, just be yourself and smile a lot. The ladies love that sort of thing, but not too much, because then you look like a creep. Geez, I'm really bad at this kind of advice. I have no idea. I've never interacted with a woman, but I've read a lot of books about it. So here, check this out. You can drop in 4 to 8 weeks, in many cases, 10 pounds of fat, if not a little bit more. And especially with proper water and salt manipulation, which is what we're going to cover later, you can look pretty damn good, or put better, much better than you've been looking in the weeks before this. And that means that potentially you could have more lady friends on this trip, make new friends, airport, smile, people get in the same cab, same hotel, same phone party, same love life. In reality, you'll probably just be masturbating with whiskey dick at 4 a.m. in your hotel room while your boy lays it down in the door next, or the room next door, and you can hear all the shit. That's how my Cancun trips work. But you can do better. You can do better, and here's how you're going to get in shape. So first, the diet plan. Real basic stuff. 4 to 5 meals per day. The core of the meal is a fist-sized, roughly, you guys like that? In all the fisting jokes in the comments, please. I got time for all that shit. Fist-sized portion of protein for each one. And of course, fisting practice is good to have on a spring break trip. Maybe if you get into some weird crowds. Cancun's crazy. 2 fist-sized portions of your favorite veggies, preferably green veggies or something like that, to get the fiber going. It's a great anti-hunger effect. It brings in tons of nutrients. 1 to 3 fist-sized servings of fruits and or whole grains, the healthy stuff. More like 0 or 1 if you really want to drop a lot of body fat, you have a lot to go. If you're already pretty shreddy and you just want to sharpen up, then 2 to 3 of these is great because you're going to want to support training energy and so on and so forth. Like if you're already pretty lean and you just kind of want to put the finishing touches on, 2 to 3 servings is great. If you have the energy and the drive and the cognitive wherewithal to survive the almost exclusively protein and veggies only diet, you can totally do that. That will change your body really, really fast, really profoundly. It sucks. It's difficult, but it will work and it will make a very big change for your spring break. So that's something to keep in mind. So there's a range there you can choose on some combination of how lean do you want to get / have to get versus how much of, wiggle room do you have? Like ostensibly you still go to school or work. Spring break, I guess, just school. You have to pay attention and pass tests and stuff. The instructor's not going to be like, oh yeah, man, you got an F on your test, but flipped it around for an A because you're going to Cancun in 3 days, bro. Have fun. Like that doesn't happen. I mean, that's the kind of professor I am. Not everyone's that cool, huh? So yeah, it's all up to you. A good suggestion here is start the diet in the first week with like 2 fistfuls of fruit / grains with every meal. See how you do. If you're like, man, I'm not even that hungry. I love the results. I can do better. Drop to 1 fistful and then next week drop to no fistful. So then the meals are just a fistful of protein and 2 fistfuls of veggies. If you go at 2 and you're like, whew, this is a tough diet, I'm still getting shredded, like stay at 2 or even bump to 3. We want to make sure that you actually succeed in your diet journey. Starting a diet and after a week just going and having 10 burritos doesn't exactly prepare you for spring break. Although if the burritos are large, also all kinds of crazy shit happens in spring break. You got to be ready. The anatomy has to be ready. Write that down. So number 5, typically we would put fats in, right? Healthy fats are a good part of a sustainable diet. Notice this, it's sustainable. This is not sustainable because it doesn't have to be. It's 4 to 8 weeks of dieting. For your maximum ability to lose fat, I would just take the healthy fats out. So like the steak or chicken or beef or whatever that you have for your fistful servings of protein really will constitute the trace fats that you need. Will you be having a great time during this plan? No. If you're leaner and you don't want to lose that much fat, you can absolutely do like a 2-finger serving of healthy fats. Good God, we're in a spring break video that's clearly designed to get you laid more on spring break. I've already mentioned fisting. I have 2 fingers out. Scott the Video Guy, this is supposed to be a family channel. Who approved this?
I think that's
Who wrote the script?
I think the dream of a family channel's left us.
The dream is gone. As is the family. I don't see a family around. It's just Scott the Video Guy and I in a dark room. God, that sounds like a terrible thing. Also, there is no script. There's a PowerPoint and it's right there. So yes, I do make most of this bullshit up on the spot to answer a long-awaited question. In any case, if you need help with a diet, here's me upselling your ass. The RP Diet Coach app, $15 a month in the first 2 weeks is free. It'll just lay this plan out for you. You say, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds by this date, go. And it just goes wham. Here's meal by meal, all your macros. You pick the foods, it auto sorts it. It has pop-up reminders to tell you when to eat. Like if you're serious and you want to suffer a little bit, the shit works. I wrote the code logic myself, so it should work really well. It's brutal. It will take you seriously. If you tell it, I want to lose 10 pounds of fat, it'll be like, okay, motherfucker, here's a little mouse-sized portion of food. You're like, shit. But you will get shredded up for spring break, which is exactly and only why we're here. All right. Next up, the training plan. I'm not going to go into a ton of specifics on training because so many approaches work, but the approaches that work have to check a couple of boxes. Here are those boxes. You should be training 4 to 6 times a week, ideally, because you want to make a full effort at this, right? You don't want to be like, hey, Stacy, do you want to leave the foam party with me and come back to my room and make terrible choices? And she's like, I kind of would, but like your side jolts just aren't like capped enough for me. So like, bye. And you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have trained twice a week. That's a realistic scenario. But in any case, you want to look your best, right? And you're in college, motherfucker. I've been to college. I'm still in college. I'm a professor. I know you don't have shit to do. Get your homework done and then go train 4 to 6 times a week. It'll make a really good visual impact. Can you train once, twice, or 3 times a week? Still get decent results? Sure. But I'm trying to give you kind of the best plan, and you can always scale down from there if you want. 4 to 6 days of training per week. A bunch of different splits work. Like push-pull legs works, upper-lower works. There's an example for a 6 and a 4-day split for you. Push legs, pull, upper-lower works as well. You can try all those splits, but fundamentally, if you hit every muscle between 2 and 4 times a week, at minimum 2 times a week, hit it pretty hard with 3 to 8 working sets for that muscle per session. So like if your session for, shoulders looks like, 4 sets of lateral raises and then 4 sets of upright rows, and you do that twice a week, like you're pretty much golden. And remember, the goal here is to increase muscle a little bit while really just providing this workout as an anti-catabolic, anti-muscle loss stimulus, so that as you lose your 10 or 12 pounds of fat, your muscle stays roughly the same and maybe increases a little bit. And so just a basic effective program is all you need. You don't need to get super fancy. What about focus? This is a little bit more of a big deal. Like there may be 0 times in this world that like you're playing soccer on the beach in Mexico and like, Scott, let's even make up some female names. Ashley from Raleigh, North Carolina. She's like, oh my God, I'm here with my friends. And I know it's your quads are like so bad. Let's fuck. Like legs. I'm sorry, fellas. I'm sorry. My quads are like my favorite muscle group on me. I think it's awesome to have jacked legs. If you're trying to hit the statistical average of like spring break groupie interest, leg training is not highly prioritized. I know, come get me in the comments, and I deserve it. I just blasphemed against lifting gods. That being said, this shit is true. So my best advice to you, and this isn't some shit I would ever be doing, but also your boy's not getting laid on spring break. So trade-offs, focus on your arms, your delts, specifically side delts. Nobody ever looks at your fucking rear delts. You're not a bodybuilding show. Chest, okay? And it pains me to say this, your abs. Because like the standard for what is considered a fuckboy physique is actually quite low. You just have to be lean, have little baby arms and a baby chest and some delts, and just like do the shirt pull thing. And like you have like a 4 or 6 pack, and the girls are like, oh my God, Connor, you're in such good shape. You're like Vin Diesel. Ooh, swear to God. Who also isn't jacked in the grand scheme, but then Connor's 50 pounds smaller than Vin Diesel. But abs are important. Train them for hypertrophy. They will marginally pop out more. And because you're dieting for fat loss, the fat around them will recede and you will have, well, some abs. And then you got abs. And spring break is the place where abs live. That's where they frolic. That's where they express their full potential. So I would recommend training them in this case if you want maximum fuck-tential. I even wrote that down. That's right. The potential to have consensual sexual relations with people of the gender that interests you. Yes, it's 2023. I said that right. Okay. Now, the training plan can be super basic, but if you want something laid out for you, shameless plug, the custom training templates, buy them below. They're $100 and they last for like 4 months or some shit like that. So you can use them way after spring break. You just pick all the muscle groups you want to train, and you can actually choose as priority muscle groups, biceps, triceps, delts, chest, and abs. It's literally right there in the the ordering form, and then it craps out a program for you that trains all of those exactly as hard as you need to make your best results. So shameless plug, go get that shit. Now, I'm not just going to be the type of motherfucker that tells you go buy shit and there's nothing else. If you want to learn how to build your own hypertrophy plan, we have the Hypertrophy Made Simple YouTube video series. That's 16 videos. Each one's like 8 minutes long, going step by step as to how you can construct your own plan. So if you're in college, you don't have a trust fund where you can get $100 from mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, whatever fucking East Coast mansion built by Christopher Columbus you fucking ancestors live in. If you're not like the Dartmouth type of motherfucker, then just build your own program for free. And the whole guide will take you like an hour and a half to watch, and you can fucking just make a program. So enjoy. But remember, buy shit because I need Lamborghinis. They are not free, which pains me to think about. All right. Number 4, the cardio plan. Big news here. Cardio is persistently overrated as a fat loss modality. Doing a ton of cardio has some effect on fat loss, but for the energy and time invested, that effect is not worth the trade-off in most cases. So what you want to do is diet. The diet is how you get lean. Contest bodybuilders are leaner than everyone else in this world. They don't do more cardio than like endurance runners. And you think for all the cardio endurance runners do, I mean, they're pretty lean, but they're not as lean as bodybuilders. How? And the answer is, by the way, 2 things before you say bodybuilders are on drugs. 1, endurance athletes take a shitload of drugs at the top level. And also drug-free bodybuilders are leaner than endurance athletes. So now that we've rounded that, the reality is that the diet is the big difference maker. And so when you guys are getting ready for spring break, getting ready to get in shape, just know that if you're the type of person to do like an hour or 2 of cardio a day and then not watch your diet so closely, you're just going to do a lot of work for kind of disappointing results, but they're going to be good. But for the amount of time you spent doing that shit, it's not going to be ideal. And like you have homework and sorority parties to go to or whatever. So you got other shit to do. What I would recommend is this: get a baseline, decent amount of steps. Your cell phone has a step tracker in it. I promise. You can get one of these cheap ass step trackers. It's like $11. It's from China. They know where I am at all times. I like to notify the Communist Party where I am at all times in the United States. So it's super cheap to track your steps. Just get a minimum of 10 or 12,000 steps every single day. And then, hold up, find which sites are gathering your info with personal data cleanup. Scott, how do you say this? Is it McAfee or McAfee? McAfee. McAfee, I pay for your fucking service. You're the only people that spam me. Thank you for preventing all other spammers. Stop popping up when I'm fucking at work 3 times an hour. Shit. Like they say shit too. Like, oh, look at who's trying to spam you. Like, oh, motherfucker, that's your job. Don't tell me about it. Just do it. I love you guys. I'm kidding. Don't turn off the virus protection on the back end and fuck me over. In any case, 10 to 12,000 steps a day, or just stay really active. Let the diet do the rest of the work. If you want to go and do some treadmill cardio or some elliptical, that's totally cool. I would say like 6 days a week, maximum 45 minutes at a time of like hard work that makes you sweat is the most I would ever do. This whole 2 hours a day of cardio nonsense is for the fucking birds. And the thing is, when spring break is getting closer, when you go to your university gym, you will notice that no less than 1 times 10 to the 15 million sorority girls are in the cardio room jamming to try to get, I don't know what look they want for spring break. Cocaine look. And boy, do they get it, because they don't really lift weights and the muscle sloughs off their body, and so does the fat. You end up going on spring break looking like Kate Moss. And if that reference dates me, I'm old. But Google that shit. It's an interesting look. In any case, supplements. Gotta say something about them. First thing is, you just don't have to take them. They're just not a big deal. If you're going to take a fat burner or something like Lipo6 or some shit like that, no corporate affiliation here. It works just fine. Stick with the recommended dose or even a little bit lower. These things hit really hard. Don't take the pills late at night. You won't be able to sleep. If you take pre-workouts, just keep doing that. You don't need extra pre-workout. If you want creatine, 5 grams of creatine monohydrate, every day is a good idea for the duration of this whole exercise. And do bring your creatine with you so you can take it in Mexico or in Thailand or wherever the fuck you're going, because it will keep your muscles fuller and it's a cool look. And there's nowhere in the world where you get popped for powders that are just creatine. So don't worry, like, oh, but aren't they going to think it's cocaine? It's not their first rodeo. If it was that easy to fucking smuggle cocaine in an airplane, good God. Yeah. Scott, new career idea? Creatine smuggling? Count me in. In for a penny, in for a pound.
As long as I get to smuggle it, on my person.
Yes, in your person. The old purse, the universal purse, as they call it. Everyone has one, but the aperture is, I'm just going to stop while I'm behind. Okay. We got plenty more shitty jokes to make in the rest of this video. All right. We got your training. We got your diet. We got your cardio. You're looking like you're getting in really good shape, but hold on. The goal of the trip isn't to look super awesome on the airplane going in there. Girl walks by from the first class bathroom. You're like, what's up? She's like, oh my God, what hotel are you staying at? You're like, I don't fucking know. I just go there and just go get wild. I didn't even book a hotel. She's like, oh my God, you're crazy, huh? Now, that's cool. But when you get to the place, you eat total shit. You drink a ton of fluids, we'll call them. And what ends up happening is you get, as the French say, le bloated. And then you got the puffy face look and the muscles are puffy, the abs are puffy. And it kind of sucks because like you're looking puffy 2 days in and your friends are like, dude, foam party tonight. And you're like, I guess, but I look like shit. And it sucks to look worse than you just did. I mean, confidence is a thing, right? And ladies know it. So if you go into the club like, oh no, like, come on, Connor, show us your abs. Like, oh no, guys, I'm feeling kind of whatever. Like, you're for sure not getting laid. Get the fuck out of here. You want to look your best. Problem, how the fuck do we deal with this bloating shit? It's a difficult thing. However, if you want to avoid what doctors call dry dick disease and you want to stay nice and sharp, you can do something. It's wacky. But guys, I swear to God, it works. 2 weeks before your trip, not including your trip. So if your trip's on March 15th or some shit, March 1, you start the following process. You double your salt and water intake. Fuck. If you don't know how much salt you're eating, because who the fuck does outside of weird contest bodybuilders, just eat a lot more salt. Put more salt in your foods. And you don't even have to focus on doubling your water intake. That'll happen automatically because your thirst will be like, holy shit, I need to drink more fluids because I'm eating so much salt. But I would say double your salt intake or eat more salt and really make sure you're putting down the fluids like pretty well. Don't overdrink or some shit, but like don't go thirsty and have brown pee. That's all I'm trying to say. For 1 week of this, as soon as you start doing it, after a couple of days, you will look way worse. Why? Because you have a normal expression of what's called the diuretic response. Your body pees out fluids normally, and you shoved a crap ton of fluid and salt. And so for a while, your diuretic response doesn't catch up and you get bloated. This is what would happen on your spring break vacation. We're doing it early. Why? We're going to continue to apply this much higher salt and water all the way up until we actually get to spring break. Even before the flight. You step on that flight before you have 2 Gatorade Zeros and put some salt in there. Person at the airport's like, what the fuck are you doing? What kind of flight is this? What are you getting ready for? A Mile High Club times 10? Here's the thing. After about a week, your body is going to adjust and you're going to look normal. And you're going to say, what the fuck am I doing this for? I look just normal. Why did I do this? Keep going. When you get to, Panama Beach or whatever, Mexico. Scott, where do people with friends go on spring break? I never had friends.
Cancun.
I mean, there's got to be other places. Okay. It's just
Jersey
Cancun.
Shore, right?
Jersey Shore. Oh,
Jaeger bombs.
yeah. That's a little cold then for spring break, I guess. So wherever you're going, you're going to get there and you're just going to eat and drink normally because you got time for other shit then. But because your body has been exposed to so much more salt and water than usual, when you go in and eat some junk food and get a little dehydrated and all this other stuff, your body's going to be like, man, compared to what I have been doing, this is actually very low water and salt environment. So automatically you're going to get dried out. And then you're actually going to look your best 2 or 3 days into your vacation. which is amazing because that's when the foam party is. And that's when you get to fucking pull off the shirt and be like, hey, ladies. And they're like, oh my God. And then the Mexican bouncer, like one hand picks you up and throws you the fuck out. It's a sign on the wall, sir. You can't take your shirt off in the foam party. Do they even enforce that sort of thing? Scott, you've been to a foam party. Anything goes. That's my line to my lawyer when I call him from a Mexican prison the day after. You will be low carbing it on your way in, obviously. High water, high salt. When your vacation begins, you'll almost certainly eat more carbs than you used to because food's going to taste good and there's tons of it around. And your water and salt are going to come down. Increasing carbs and dropping salt and water is like a contest bodybuilding peak. You're actually going to look fuller in your muscles and drier underneath your skin. It's a fucking thing. If you really give a shit about how you look, like you really, really give a shit, like if it's trying to get in shape, fuck it, who cares? But if you really give a shit, just at least remember to have a little bit more salt and fluids, maybe a lot more in the few weeks leading up, week and a half to 2 weeks, and you are going to look really, really good when it comes down to it. And by the way, the thumbnail, hopefully it looks like I think it's going to look, has me a couple days before my recent, well, it wasn't on spring break. It was a December trip with my wife and our older friends where we just go to bed early, have a cocktail. Less fun, but nonetheless still illustrates the point. It was Cancun. You'll see that I look pretty fucking ultra shredded in that second picture. And in that first picture, I look not so ultra shredded because that first picture was taken when I was doing the water and salt intentional bloating. And then when I got to the all-inclusive, dude, your boy was putting down. I was down to 5,500 calories of food, like 4 or 5 meals a day, snacks, all this other crazy shit. But I was fucking dry because I was so used to pounding in the fluids and the salt before. It fucking works. So give it a try. All right. Now, what about dieting and training during vacation? We got a couple rules, 3 to be exact. Just follow these some semblance, barely, and you'll do better than not. Rule number 1, try not to eat like a total piece of shit 100% of the time that you're there. Light, high protein breakfast when you wake up at 2 p.m. or some shit like that. A reasonable dinner that's not entirely made of junk food. And if you keep your dinner lighter, and I shouldn't be saying this, but here it goes. If you keep your dinner on the lighter end, you get drunk with less alcohol. So mission accomplished, I guess. But a lot of times it's all inclusive. So the alcohol is included. So who gives a shit? But just throwing it out there. If you're going to have a light dinner, remember that your tolerance is going to be lower. Now I sound like your fucking dad. Oh, be careful out there, Connor. The girls cut holes in condoms. Woodstock was a terrible time. In any case, just know that if you eat a lighter dinner, you'll have to drink less. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's up to you to make it a good thing. But at least it's more convenient because you don't have to be like, I'm on my 6th beer and I don't feel shit. During the day and night, try to hydrate well for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, 3 reasons. Number 1, it's fucking hot and humid as shit in Cancun. You will fucking die out there if you don't hydrate. Number 2, let's be honest, you're drunk as shit or you bought fucking Molly from some weird hotel worker and now you're on methamphetamine because it's not actual Molly. And that does not help matters because when you're drunk or on drugs, you have no fucking clue what's going on and a bunch of them have a diuretic response. So make sure you stay hydrated. And lastly, you're going to want Lil Willie, that's right, your friend downstairs, to work really well. There he is. And, he kind of needs hydration because he's kind of... he does his best work when you're fully hydrated. And if you can't put those 2 things together, good luck in Cancun. Good God. Second rule. This is a bit of a departure from the first rule. You don't have to eat like a contest bodybuilder the whole time. When you're at the fucking club, it's bottoms up. That's why you're there. So don't try to be like, I got to order the diet drinks. I mean, sure. But unless you're doing some purposeful gaining phase, you just can't gain enough body fat in a week of actual partying. Because remember, the party is the number 1 thing to really make a huge impact or almost any visual impact on your physique. So just don't worry about it, right? Because a lot of people are like, who are into fitness are like, oh man, only diet mixers and only 4 drinks. Like, just shut the fuck up and have fun. Right? I'm here to tell you, I'm obsessed with my body. I built a whole fucking career out of it. It just doesn't make a fucking difference. Not for a week. Yeah, for 4 weeks, it'll fucking for sure make a difference. But for a week of partying, just enjoy yourself. After the club, get you something nasty, enjoy that shit. And good news, it'll help soak up the alcohol so you don't die. In Mexico, alone, your parents have to go through customs to get your body back. Ugh. Rough. Third rule. If you do choose to train, first of all, do not schedule early morning training. That is insane. You won't be awake early in the morning, or you will be awake and fornicating with lots of other fun spring breakers, hopefully in an environment you all find pleasant and not overly dirty. Midday training is where it's at. Another benefit to midday training is typically in these locales, the equatorial regions, so to speak, where you go for spring break, it's so fucking hot midday. It's just like a path to heat stroke. So just go to the gym, which is hopefully air conditioned. And if it's not, don't go to the gym and get your workout then. AM training is not likely. After training, you can get a good little pump, get you a shower, put on your little fuckboy outfit, go get dinner, drinks, club, face down on the street at 3:30, wake up in a Mexican jail, and it's just Tuesday, baby, and I'm here till Friday. Let's get at it. Lastly, you can totally just deload the whole trip or not train at all. You might want to train a little bit, get them demons out a tad, get pumped with your friends. There's always the thing where you like make some friends there and it's like 6 girls and they're like, oh my God, you're really buff. Can you teach us how to do like gym stuff? We're going to go lift. You're like, of course, ladies. And you just spend the rest of the hour showing them Dr. Mike YouTube videos, which you should do because your boy knows what he's fucking talking about. JK, get in there and get some training going. But I will say this, feel free to deload. Just 2 or 3 upper body training sessions that whole week will keep you looking exactly as good as when you got there. You do not have to train 2 days or 7 times a week to look your best to maximize your club performance. And as a matter of fact, if you want to maximize your club performance, don't train a ton, train a little bit so you got that fucking nasty man energy for the foam party. That's right. The foam party and Christianity, mutually exclusive. Satanic things happen at the foam party, and I hope you enjoy them all. Praise Satan. All right. Quickly, if you're on the business end of things, if you're a saucy guy, if you're using a special sports supplement, so to speak, you may have questions about how to manage that, and I have a few answers for you. The PowerPoint says, if you're a drug addict, which is probably true for you, you really need to think about shit. Growth hormone, pull it out. Yes, it is a very powerful fat burner, but it also results in bloating. And if you pull out growth hormone about, a week to half a week before you go, you're just going to look way more shredded, hands down. Also, growth hormone helps you sleep. If you pull out growth, you'll be less apt to sleep on the trip, which is good because you'll be partying your face off. You won't need to sleep anyway. Another thing. Yes, the drugs you were taking help get you in shape, especially if you're shooting long esters. If you don't know what that means, just skip the next 3 minutes. You should not have a meaningful change in how much serum concentration of anabolic you have in your bloodstream in any relevant capacity throughout this week of partying. Do not take drugs with you. You can go a week without injecting. I promise. And if they're long esters, Mr. Whiskey Dick won't have to happen. Everything is all gravy. And the good thing is, a lot of bodybuilders pull out pretty much all of their gear, almost all of it before contests anyway, like a week or 2 out, because less androgens actually make you look drier as well. Will you have your best gym performance? Well, if you shot a week ago, yes, probably still. Will you look your absolute fullest? No, but who gives a shit? You're going to look sharper and drier. So it's better to pull out all of your gear, stop shooting it when you fucking get on the plane. Don't bring fucking drugs with you to other countries. Look, like you bring drugs into Finland, they're going to be like, this is a very bad thing for you to do and we're worried about your health. So please just leave them here and go to Finland and enjoy. Sorry, Finnish people, I fucked up your accent. If you go to Thailand and you got steroids on you, you may not be coming back. Scott, what's that one video with the movie with the people, they go and broke down Palace? Bro, watch that shit. Don't you fucking bring drugs anywhere else in this fucking world. Mexico, Thailand, that's for you Aussie motherfuckers. You Aussie cunts always trying to bring gear everywhere. Cut it out. You don't need it. Straight up. And this is honest advice. I'm not trying to be your fucking parent here.
You just got your girl in it.
Who?
Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, yes.
Does she have the latex on?
Does she have the latex on? No. Then the answer is she is no longer my girl. Kate Beckinsale, you are valid. as a human in all ways, but to me, as a sex object, only when you're in your, what's that movie called? Underworld outfit. Ooh. Ugh. I love vampires or werewolves or whatever you are, Kate Beckinsdale. Hello. In any case, she shows up without the outfit. I'm like, who are you? All right. Lastly, after the vacation, assuming you survived, of course, most of the funnest spring breaks end in death, which is a good way to live until you're 22. I would take a week or two after the trip to just like eat clean, like fruits, veggies, whole grains, meats, just to, you know what I'm saying, a lot of toxins into your body. Time to let them float out as you put only good stuff in for a little bit. Ease back into training. You don't want to just hit it hard right after because you just deloaded, basically. So you got to ease back in, no crazy stuff, 3 reps in reserve, lower volumes, etc. And then keep training so next time you don't have to rush back into shape and you can be jacked and lean well in advance of spring break. Go there and just mop it all up, baby. And if I have to tell you what the it is, you have a lot of growing up to do, which is going to happen on spring break for you here in a few weeks. So lastly, in that 2-week time span afterwards, hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were safe. Go get STD test because I'm pretty sure the foam particles are actually made of the HIV virus. It's just more fun that way. And take care of yourself. Folks, have a good time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about specifics, shoot them into the comments below, and I will try to get to them and answer them. And have fun and be safe. Don't do anything stupid unless it has a high payoff and involves titties. I'll see you guys later.